Today, I invite you to step into the truth that has the power to transform your entire life. Your mind is the garden, and you are the gardener. Every thought you think plants a seed, and every belief you hold shapes the reality you live in. The most profound realization you can have is this: you are not a victim of circumstances. You are the creator of your becoming. Your mind is the beginning of all creation. Everything you have ever achieved, every experience you have ever lived, every success you have ever tasted, it all started as a single thought, a whisper in your mind, an idea, a vision that came to you in a moment of clarity or even in a moment of doubt. This is how powerful the mind is. It is the birthplace of every possibility you will ever encounter. What you think repeatedly becomes a belief, and what you believe consistently becomes the foundation of your reality. If you have ever wondered why your life feels the way it does, why certain patterns keep showing up, why some doors open easily and others remain closed, it is all a reflection of the seeds you have planted in your own consciousness. Consider this. No building ever existed without first being imagined. No invention ever appeared without first being a dream in someone's mind. No relationship, no journey, no transformation happens unless it is first formed in thought. Your mind is the soil, and every thought you think is a seed. Some seeds grow quickly, others take time. Some bear fruit, and some bear thorns. But one truth remains unshakable: the garden will always reflect the seeds you allow to grow within it. When you feed your mind thoughts of lack, limitation, fear, and doubt, those seeds take root. They may start small, but they grow quietly, sending their roots deeper, shaping the way you see the world and what you believe is possible. You may start telling yourself stories like, "I can't do this," or "life is always hard for me," or "I'm just not lucky." Those are weeds that choke the soil, making it harder for your dreams to grow. But the moment you recognize that you are the one who has been watering those weeds, you reclaim your power. On the other hand, when you consciously choose to plant thoughts of abundance, courage, love, and possibility, a new reality begins to unfold. Even if at first it feels unnatural, even if the old, familiar weeds try to fight back, those new seeds begin to sprout. And like any gardener, you must be patient and consistent. You cannot plant a seed today and expect a full-grown tree tomorrow. You water it with faith, you nurture it with action, and you protect it from the pests of doubt and negativity that try to eat away at your progress. Your mind does not care which seeds you plant. It will always give life to what you nurture most. That is why awareness is your greatest tool. Notice the conversations you have with yourself. Are they building you or breaking you? Are they pointing toward who you want to become? Or do they keep you chained to who you used to be? The beauty of this truth is that you are never stuck. No matter what has been planted before, you can begin again today. You can clear the soil, pull out the weeds, and plant something new. Think of a time in your life when you had a small idea, just a little spark of possibility, and you followed it. Maybe it was deciding to take a course, start a business, meet a new person, or simply change a habit. It began in your mind first. You might not have known how everything would work out, but you allowed the seed to grow. That is the power you carry every single day. You are never at the mercy of the external world as much as you are influenced by the inner one. So if you want a new life, you must first create it within your mind. Picture yourself living the way you desire. Speak to yourself as though it is already unfolding. Imagine what it feels like, what it looks like, how it changes you and those around you. The more you think in alignment with that vision, the more your actions naturally begin to reflect it. Thoughts lead to emotions, emotions lead to actions, and actions create results. It always starts with a single thought. And here is the greatest secret. You do not have to wait for conditions to be perfect to begin thinking differently. Many people believe they will start thinking positively when their life improves. But the truth is your life improves when you start thinking positively. The moment you choose to direct your mind toward what you want rather than what you fear, you shift the entire foundation of your reality. The universe, life, or whatever you believe in begins to organize itself around your dominant vibration. Each morning, you are offered a blank page. Each thought is a pen stroke. What will you write today? Will you repeat the same old sentences that keep you stuck in yesterday? Or will you author a new story of courage, abundance, and growth? Your mind is the beginning of all creation. When you master your thoughts, you master the direction of your life. It is not magic, it is alignment. The seed you plant now is the harvest you will gather later. And the best time to plant is always now. The words you speak after the phrase "I am" carry a creative force that shapes your entire reality. Every time you declare something with "I am," you are not just describing your life, you are instructing it. These two words are like a command to the universe, a message to your subconscious mind, and an order that sets events in motion. When you say "tired," your body responds with heaviness. When you say "I am strong," your energy shifts to match that strength. The truth is, you have been creating with "I am" since the moment you learned to speak, and often, without realizing it, you have been using it against yourself. Most people speak "I am" statements without thinking. They say, "I am unlucky. I am not good enough. I am always struggling. I am sick of this life." These words may seem small, but they plant seeds that grow into beliefs, and beliefs become your personal reality. Over time, these unconscious declarations create a lens through which you view yourself and the world. The danger lies in their repetition. The more you affirm something, the more it becomes ingrained, even when you don't want it. The constant affirmation of a negative identity strengthens its hold on you, but the power of "I am" is neutral. It is neither good nor bad by itself. It becomes powerful because of what you attach to it. You are free, right now, to change the way you use it. Imagine how different your life would look if your inner dialogue shifted from defeat to empowerment. If instead of saying "I am unlucky," you said, "I am open to new opportunities." If instead of saying "I am broken," you said, "I am healing and growing stronger." This is not about pretending your challenges do not exist. It is about choosing the words that align with the future you want to create, rather than the pain you want to leave behind. Every great transformation begins with a decision to rewrite the way you identify yourself. Your identity is simply a collection of "I am" statements you have repeated enough to believe. If you want to step into a new version of yourself, you must first change the way you declare who you are. Start small if you must. Begin your morning by saying, "I am grateful to be alive. I am capable of handling this day. I am becoming the person I want to be." These words may feel uncomfortable at first, especially if they contradict your current circumstances. But that is because you are stretching the boundaries of what your mind has been conditioned to accept. Your subconscious mind does not resist repetition. It accepts it. It learns through consistency. The more you affirm something, the more evidence it begins to collect to prove it true. That is why people who continually say, "I am always broke," keep finding themselves in situations of lack. Their words attract more of what they fear because their mind filters reality to confirm what they declare. Yet the same principle works in your favor when used with intention. Repeatedly affirming, "I am worthy of abundance," begins to open your eyes to opportunities you once overlooked. Declaring, I am confident slowly shifts the way you carry yourself, the choices you make, and the energy you project into the world. There is also a spiritual dimension to this phrase. Many ancient teachings suggest that I am is not only a statement about who you are, but also a direct connection to the creative force of the universe. When you say, I am, you are tapping into the infinite presence within you, the part of you that is unlimited, boundless, and constantly creating. By attaching negative words to this sacred force, you dim your own light. By attaching empowering words, you awaken it. So, be mindful of what you say after I am, both out loud and in your thoughts. Catch yourself when you speak limitation over your life. Replace it gently, not with force, but with choice. Instead of I am stuck, say I am learning to move forward. Instead of I am not enough, say I am growing into my fullest self. The shift may seem subtle, but every time you affirm something positive, you carve a new pathway in your mind. Over time, this pathway becomes the main road you travel, and your outer life begins to reflect your inner truth. Remember, your life moves in the direction of your most dominant I am statements. Speak with intention, even when it feels unfamiliar. Do not wait until you feel powerful to declare, I am powerful. Say it now and allow the feeling to catch up. Do not wait until everything looks abundant to say, I am abundant. Speak it while you are planting the seed. The words you speak today create the garden you will live in tomorrow. The power of I am is not in the noise of the world. It is in the quiet moments when you are alone with your thoughts. It is in the choice to speak hope over fear, growth over doubt, and love over pain. Each time you declare, I am becoming, you step into the role of creator rather than a passive participant. And that is where true transformation begins. Not with what others think you are, not what your past says you were, but with what you courageously choose to become now. There comes a moment in every life when holding on becomes heavier than letting go. The past, with all its memories, mistakes, and unfulfilled expectations, can become like a weight tied to your spirit, slowing your steps, clouding your vision, and keeping you anchored in places you have already outgrown. To step into a new chapter of life, you must be willing to release the old, not with bitterness, not with resentment, but with a gentle acknowledgement that what was has served its purpose. It has shaped you, taught you, and brought you to this very moment. But it is not meant to define the rest of your journey. Many people carry their old stories like armor, thinking it protects them from future pain, when in truth it often blocks the flow of new blessings. Old pain, old guilt, old anger. These are chains that keep you walking in circles, revisiting the same lessons again and again. Letting go does not mean you erase the past. It means you stop giving it permission to dictate your future. It is an act of courage, a declaration that your life is not meant to be a museum of memories, but a canvas of possibilities. When you release the old, you create space. Space for healing, space for growth, space for miracles to enter. Imagine a room filled with old furniture, dusty and unused, until you clear it out. There is no room for anything new to arrive. Your mind and heart work the same way. If they are crowded with old stories of how things should have been, old expectations that never came to life, or old hurts that you replay over and over, how can something fresh find its way in? Letting go is a process, not a one-time act. It begins with awareness, noticing what you are still carrying. Perhaps is a relationship that ended long ago, but still whispers in your mind. Perhaps it is a failure that left a scar on your confidence. Perhaps it is the version of yourself you thought you would be by now, but haven't yet become. These attachments are like invisible threads, and as long as you cling to them, they keep you bound to yesterday. The first step to freedom is to gently say, I see you, I acknowledge you, and I am ready to set you down. There is a quiet power in acceptance. Acceptance does not mean approval. It means you stop fighting what has already happened. You stop rehearsing the story in your mind, hoping for a different ending. You stop wishing that people had acted differently, that you had known more, that time had been kinder. You meet the past where it stands and you say, you have given me your lesson, and now I choose to move forward. That choice is not always easy, but it is always liberating. Embracing the new is the second half of this transformation. Once your hands are no longer clinging to what is gone, they are free to reach for what is coming. This requires trust. Trust in the timing of your life. Trust that what is meant for you will not pass you by. Trust that you are worthy of something greater than what you have known before. The new may not look like the old, and that is often where fear arises. We become so used to familiar pain that the unknown, even when it promises joy, feels uncertain. But growth never lives in what is familiar. It lives in the uncharted spaces where you dare to step with an open heart. When you embrace the new, you open yourself to possibility. You begin to see opportunities where you once saw dead ends. You start to attract people who match your new energy rather than your old wounds. Life begins to move again because you are no longer holding it back with the heaviness of what used to be. You stop saying, this is who I am because of what happened to me, and you start saying, this is who I am becoming because of what I choose today. Releasing the old is an act of self-respect. It tells the universe you are ready to receive something better. It tells your heart that healing is possible. It tells your mind that the future is not a continuation of your pain unless you decide to keep repeating it. And embracing the new is an act of self-love. It is you choosing to believe that better days are ahead, even if you cannot see them yet. It is you walking with faith, not because you have every answer, but because you have decided to no longer life chain to what is gone. Each day offers you a choice to hold on to what has already ended, or open your arms to what is waiting to begin. One keeps you in the past, the other carries you forward. One keeps you small, the other invites you to expand. You cannot carry both at the same time. So ask yourself, what do I need to put down today so I can walk lighter tomorrow? What belief? What memory? What resentment am I willing to release so I can embrace the life that is trying to find me? The moment you decide, life begins to rearrange itself around that decision. And step by step, the old fades quietly behind you, while the new unfolds beautifully before you. Your mind is like a powerful instrument capable of creating extraordinary beauty or endless noise, depending on how you choose to use it. Left unattended, it often drifts into patterns shaped by the past, influenced by fear, and distracted by the noise of the world. It picks up beliefs from childhood, absorbs doubts from others, and clings to old narratives that no longer serve you. That is why intention is so important. To live consciously, you must train your mind, not as a rigid master, but as a compassionate guide who redirects its focus toward what truly matters. Just as a musician must practice to create harmony, you must practice to create peace, clarity, and purpose within your thoughts. Training your mind is not about controlling every single thought that passes through. That would be impossible and exhausting. It is about choosing over and over again which thoughts you will give your energy to and which you will let pass without attachment. It is about noticing when your mind drifts toward fear, worry, or negativity and gently saying, "No, I choose a different direction." This is a skill that strengthens with repetition, and like any skill, it requires patience. The first step is awareness. Pay attention to the conversation you are having with yourself all day long. Much of it runs on autopilot. Old sentences, familiar fears, inherited opinions. Begin to observe them as they appear. When you catch yourself thinking, I can't pause. Ask, is this thought leading me closer to who I want to become, or is it pulling me away? When you notice your mind rehearsing past mistakes or projecting failure into the future, stop and breathe. This pause is the moment of power. It is where you regain choice. Intention is the steering wheel of your mind. Without it, your thoughts are like a car rolling downhill with no driver, going wherever the slope takes it. But when you bring intention to your mental patterns, you begin to direct them toward a higher destination. You can choose to start your day by saying, today I focus on gratitude. Today I focus on opportunities rather than obstacles. Today I will feed my mind with what strengthens me. And when you do this consistently, your outer life begins to shift in ways that match your inner choices. It is also essential to feed your mind with uplifting material, because what you expose yourself to becomes the raw material of your thoughts. Spend time reading words that inspire growth rather than fear. Surround yourself with voices that encourage your potential, not diminish it. Create moments of stillness in your day, even a few minutes, to simply breathe and clear the mental clutter. The mind is like a sponge. It absorbs what is around it. Be mindful of what you allow it to soak in. Another powerful way to train your mind is through visualization. This is not mere daydreaming. It is deliberate mental rehearsal. Close your eyes and picture yourself living as the person you wish to become. Imagine how you speak, how you carry yourself, what choices you make. See it in vivid detail and let that image become familiar to your mind. The more often you visit that version of yourself in your thoughts, the easier it becomes to embody it in your actions. Your mind does not always distinguish between what is vividly imagined and what is experienced. So by repeatedly visualizing your success, you prepare your inner world for the outer reality you desire. Do not expect your mind to change overnight. Just as a neglected garden cannot bloom in a single day, a neglected mind needs consistent care to flourish. There will be days when old habits try to return, when doubt feels louder than faith, when the noise of the world competes with your inner guidance. In those moments, do not judge yourself. Gently return to your intention. Even a small daily commitment, 5 minutes of affirming thoughts, a moment of stillness before reacting, a habit of questioning the voice of fear, creates lasting change over time. Remember, your mind is a servant, not a master. When you train it, it stops working against you and starts working for you. It begins to look for opportunities rather than obstacles. It starts collecting reasons why you can succeed instead of evidence that you will fail. It notices doors that were always there but hidden behind the fog of worry. And most importantly, it becomes a place of peace. When your inner world is calm and directed, the chaos outside cannot easily shake you. Training your mind with intention is one of the greatest acts of self-respect. It says, I care about the quality of my inner world. I will not leave it to chance or habit. I will plant the thoughts that nourish me, and I will stop watering those that harm me. Over time, this practice becomes natural. You no longer have to force your thoughts into alignment. They begin to flow in the direction you have chosen. Life responds to this inner order with opportunities, connections, and circumstances that match your deliberate focus. Every day, you are either rehearsing your limitations or training your mind for possibility. The choice is always yours. Start small, start gently, but start today. Train your mind with intention and watch how your world gradually begins to mirror the calm, the clarity, and the strength you have cultivated within. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine the version of yourself you have always wanted to be. Picture that person in as much detail as you can. How do they walk into a room? How do they hold themselves when challenges appear? What kind of energy do they carry that makes others feel drawn to them? Visualization is not about escaping reality. It is about creating a blueprint for the life you want to live. Every structure in the world began with a plan. Every masterpiece began with an image in someone's mind. So too does every transformation in your life begin with a vision of who you desire to become. When you visualize your desired self, you are telling your mind what to look for, what to expect, and what to create. Your mind operates through images far more powerfully than through words alone. Think of how quickly a picture can stir an emotion within you. In the same way, when you form a clear mental image of your future self, you awaken the feelings that match that vision. Those feelings then guide your actions. If you can feel it now, even before it has fully unfolded, you begin to live as if it is already on its way. This practice does not require hours of effort. Even a few minutes a day can change the way your mind perceives what is possible. Set aside a moment when you are calm, perhaps in the morning before the day begins, or at night when the world is quiet, and close your eyes. See yourself as if you have already stepped into the life you want. Notice the details. What are you wearing? What is your expression? Who surrounds you? What are you doing that fills you with purpose? The more real it feels, the more your subconscious accepts it as a direction to move toward. Your current circumstances do not have to match your vision for it to be powerful. In fact, most visions are born from contrast, seeing what you do not want and realizing what you would rather have. If you are living in struggle, visualize freedom. If you are feeling overlooked, visualize being seen and valued. If you are doubting yourself, visualize confidence growing strong within you. The mind does not reject a vision simply because it is not yet true. It responds to the clarity and repetition with which you feed it. Over time, this visualization becomes a silent guide. Without forcing it, you start to make different choices. You start walking in alignment with the image you hold. You begin to say yes to opportunities that match that version of you and no to habits that keep you tied to the old one. It is as if the future self you keep picturing begins to pull you forward gently but persistently. People may even notice a change in your energy before any external shift takes place because the inner transformation always precedes the outer one. This is not about fantasy, it is about alignment. Many dismiss visualization as wishful thinking, but they misunderstand its purpose. It is not meant to magically deliver results without effort. It is meant to focus your attention so your actions become intentional rather than scattered. When you see where you are going, your steps naturally become more deliberate. You stop moving in circles and you begin to move in the direction of growth. If doubt arises, and it often will, do not fight it harshly. Simply return to your vision. Remind yourself that every great achievement once lived only in someone's imagination. There was a time when you had not yet learned the skills you now have, and yet you grew into them because you saw a possibility for yourself. The same is true now. The more you visit this image of your desired self, the more familiar it becomes and the less resistance your mind will offer. Visualization also has a way of unlocking courage. When you see yourself succeeding, speaking with confidence, living in alignment, you begin to borrow the strength of that image. It whispers to you in moments of hesitation, "This is who you are becoming. Take the step." Even small daily actions guided by a strong vision create profound change over time. Do not worry if the image is not perfect at first. It will evolve as you grow. The important part is that you begin. Let your vision be alive, something you can revisit, refine, and deepen. Let it be your inner compass when the outer world feels uncertain. And always pair it with belief that you are worthy of becoming that person. Belief that your past does not disqualify you. Belief that the seed you hold in your mind today will one day become the reality you stand in tomorrow. The life you want is already being built in your thoughts. The more vividly you see it, the faster it takes form. Walk each day as though that version of you is already here, guiding your choices, shaping your energy, and opening doors. In time, the line between the vision and reality will blur, and you will realize that you have become what you once only imagined. Every single day, you are given the precious gift of choice. The choice to decide who you want to be, how you want to feel, and the life you want to create. Each moment holds within it a new beginning, a fresh opportunity to direct your energy and attention toward becoming the best version of yourself. The past does not define you unless you allow it to, and the future is shaped by the choices you make right now. Choosing to become every single day is about conscious creation. It is about aligning your thoughts, words, and actions with the vision you hold for yourself, even when the world seems to be moving in a different direction. Life responds to your intention, and your mind is the tool that shapes your reality. If you wake up each day and allow old habits, fears, or negative self-talk to guide you, you will only recreate what you already know. But if you wake up with intention, if you set the tone for your day by choosing love over fear, faith over doubt, and action over procrastination, you create a momentum that transforms everything. The truth is, you are never stuck. You are simply being asked to make a new choice. Every day is an opportunity to plant new seeds of thought. If you want to become more confident, you choose to think thoughts that empower you. If you want to live in abundance, you choose to believe in your worthiness to receive. If you want to experience love, you choose to open your heart and release the stories that keep you guarded. Becoming is a process, but it begins with the decision to change. Each morning, remind yourself, I am a work in progress, and I am choosing today to step closer to the version of me I know I can be. There will be days when the choice feels easy, when motivation flows naturally and everything aligns effortlessly. And there will be days when your old self tries to pull you back into familiar patterns. On those days, choosing to become is an act of strength. It is saying, even if I feel resistance, I will take one step forward. Even if doubt whispers in my mind, I will choose to believe in my growth. Transformation is rarely a straight path. It is often a series of small, consistent choices that build upon each other until suddenly you realize you are living the life you once only imagined. To choose to become every single day, you must first become aware of your thoughts. Awareness is the gateway to change. Pause throughout your day and observe the words you say to yourself. Are they encouraging you or limiting you? Are they helping you rise or keeping you small? When you catch yourself thinking thoughts that do not serve your vision, pause and redirect them. Replace I can't with I can learn. Replace I'm not enough with I am growing every day. Replace it's too late with I am right on time. This practice turns your mind into a garden where only nourishing thoughts can thrive. Secondly, you must act in alignment with the person you want to become. Words and thoughts are powerful, but they gain their greatest strength when supported by action. If you want to become healthier, move your body in ways that energize you. If you want to build confidence, speak up even when your voice shakes. If you want to grow spiritually, dedicate time each day to quiet your mind and listen inwardly. Your actions are the evidence of your becoming, and they send a powerful signal to the universe that you are ready to receive the life you envision. Finally, be gentle with yourself. Becoming is not about perfection. It is about progress. It is about showing up for yourself daily, even in the smallest ways, and choosing again when you fall back into old ways of being. You are not failing when you struggle. You are simply being invited to strengthen your commitment. Each challenge you face is a reminder of your resilience. Each setback an opportunity to return with more clarity and purpose. Today is your day to choose. Choose the thoughts that uplift you. Choose the actions that move you forward. Choose the energy that reflects the future you desire. And tomorrow, choose again. Because who you are is not a fixed state. It is a masterpiece in the making, shaped by your decisions, your courage, and your willingness to keep becoming.